If all the gas vehicles in the United States were replaced overnight with electric vehicles, would we be able and ready to support them? The answer right now, currently, is no. Electric vehicles have too many downsides, and we are simply not prepared to support them yet. Furthermore, I'm going to be encouraging you why you should stay away from an electric vehicle right now and instead just stick with the gas vehicle. My first point is their batteries need rare metals. The batteries use a lot of lithium. Other metals include copper, aluminum, cobalt, and nickel. It has been suggested by Cheddar News that we will struggle to create large numbers of electric vehicles in the near future simply because we do not have the sufficient access to the sources to make the batteries for the vehicles, nor do we have the factories to make them either. Which brings me to my next point, which is making electric cars creates more gas emissions. To get a real idea of how much greenhouse gas is emitted during the manufacture of an electric car, you have to look at how its components are sourced and made. The raw materials for making the car have to be mined, a process which emits a lot of greenhouse gases. Then those materials that they got from mining have to be refined and manufactured, another process which emits even more greenhouse gases. So people like to talk about how gas vehicles pollute the air and, emit a lot of gas. Well, the process of making electric vehicles does just as much, if not more, than a gas vehicle. Brings me to my next main point, which is you can't drive as far in an electric car. Most electric cars have a range of 100 miles or less between charges. That really only makes them useful for city travel and nothing more. I mean, you're not going to be able to go long distance with that right now. And to recharge them, they need at least half an hour at a dedicated high voltage charging station. Compare that with the time it takes to fill up a gas vehicle, which is 5, maybe 10 minutes at most, depending on the size of your tank in your vehicle. Which brings me to my last and final point, which is there aren't enough charging stations. As stated by API, the United States has roughly 114,000 charging stations. But with over 41,000 of those being in California, that doesn't really seem, very reliable right now, unless you're in California. Compare that with the amount of gas stations that we have in the United States nationwide, which is 150,000. Compare that with the amount of charging stations we have right now and how much of them are in California alone. I mean, gas vehicles is a lot more reliable right now. You'll always have the option to fill up your tank and just move on with your day. But a gas vehicle, it's just not as reliable, and it's a bit more, sketchy when you're trying to make a long distance trip because you don't even know if you're going to be able to fill up your car or not. So after covering these main points, do we feel that electric vehicles are the go-to move right now? While gas prices are indeed rising, we will always have the option to quickly fill up our tank and just move on and not worry about it. Although it does kind of hurt our wallet a bit now. Perhaps they will be in the near future, but right now, electric vehicles are simply not the go-to move for transportation right now, and it is best to just stick with the gas vehicle as they have been around for a long time and they're just a lot more reliable. So, thank you for listening to my speech.